Do you remember going to arcades when you were a kid?
Yeah, I lived at arcades, man.
Really? I didn't get to go that much. They cost a lot of money to go. But I really liked them. So this is Operation WARCADE. Hey guys, I'm CryptoSpook.
And I'm Moriarty, and you know what? This already reminds me of going to the pizza shop with my buddies and, like, my mom, and there were a whole bunch of arcade shooters like this sitting there in the corner. I remember just going over and loving that. That was my favorite part. We got pizza and root beer and arcade games.
And that is exactly what this is. They start you out inside of an arcade. By the way, this is a sitting experience game. If you are standing, you're going to have a bad time, because I started this game out standing in the middle of my room, and I'm looking over at the controller they're telling me to grab, and I'm like, but how? That's like under my desk and like at the floor. So I was like, that's so weird. And then I had this other weird issue where, like, I guess I didn't have the controllers turned on right, because when I would pull the left trigger, the right gun would shoot, and vice versa. It was very confusing. But that all went away once I restarted. And it is very much so a sitting experience game. There's no reason to stand up. I mean, there's a couple times where you're going to want to move, but it's so rare in the game that you could just make sure you got a spinny, rolly chair, you know what I mean?
Sure. Is this like a super hot kind of thing, like where you're ending up in the game, or are you picking up power-ups from your arcade?
You're picking up power-ups from your arcade. There's little, like, quick time events where you have to go inside the game world itself, and it jumps from, you know, it immerses you in the game. You know what I mean?
You're sure, because I see, like, dude in a suit off in the corner, that this isn't getting injected into the game? The game is real? It's like that movie Toys with Robin Williams?
I don't know, but you're going way deeper on this than I thought you would. I mean, maybe that's the case, but I don't know.
Do you remember Toys with Robin Williams and LL Cool J?
Not off the top of my head. It sounds very familiar, but you're talking about like a 90s movie here.
It might even be older than that. I don't remember, man. It had LL Cool J in it.
It might be an 80s movie.
So the whole idea of Toys was that, like, this dude owns a toy factory, he dies, he leaves it to his kid, who is Robin Williams, who's essentially just a man-child. His uncle comes in, his uncle's a military man. Uncle uses all the toys to build drones and has kids come in and play the video games when they're actually doing missions and killing real insurgents.
Wait, isn't that War Games?
No, that's toy.
I don't know. That also sounds a little bit like War Games.
It sounds nothing like War Games. War Games was about Matthew Broderick.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking Ender's Game. My bad.
Yeah, vaguely Ender's Gamey, sure. Anyways, so is this game fun?
Yes, this game is fun. I had a good time playing it. There's two different versions of the game, one of which you play while sitting in the arcade, and you can turn 3D on and off. I don't recommend turning it off because it did nothing but make me way less accurate. And then the other version, it immerses you in a box that's floating through the level. You're kind of like in a cardboard box that's kind of gliding along, you know? So the immersive version of the game is basically just a much bigger screen. It's literally the exact same game that you were just playing while sitting in the arcade, but you are now inside of a box rather than in the arcade. This game is very graphically intensive, so I recommend you play this version because it's probably going to run better on your PC. Whereas if you're still in the arcade, then you've got all the other stuff that it's rendering, all sorts of people walking around in the background. With this, it's not rendering anything outside of what's in the game world, which is going to make it run better.
You know, it's funny you say that because I don't actually think it looks graphically impressive at all.
You don't think so? What do you mean exactly? You're talking about the arcade area?
Well, I don't know. I mean, just saying, like, in general, this doesn't look all that graphically impressive where I would think it's going to run better.
Well, there's a lot of physics going on.
I suppose. VR's funky like that.
I think the issue is that we have a lot of new developers.
And they don't know how to optimize?
Exactly. They don't know how to optimize. And that's something that comes with time, you know? VR is still very new. And that's a big issue and a big part of the reason why you don't see a lot of major devs going out there and building these VR games. So you got people that are new to programming doing this kind of stuff, and of course sometimes it's not gonna be the most optimized because that's something that comes with a lot of experience.
Alright. I guess. So this is an on-rail shooter.
It is a partially on-rails shooter.
It's an on-rail shooter. It looks like you might actually be on rails.
You are specifically on rails. However, there are also portions where you can get off of the rails. So it's a partially on-rail shooter. There's like different parts where you can, drive around in a vehicle, fly a jet, very, very vaguely fly a jet. I mean, I always chose the simple mode when it came time to fly the jet.
So are you killing Americans?
I don't know. I was wondering that the whole time I was playing this. I was like, who are these people that I'm killing? It sure seems like I'm killing Americans here. I can't say I appreciate that.
Because I noticed that they seem to be flying American helicopters and
Humvees
and American trucks. Doesn't look like these are, Russians or North Koreans or Chinese.
Is this Insurgency Simulator?
Yeah, right?
But then I think you switch to, like, killing Brazilians, so... I mean, I don't know. Is this, like, Operation Takeout NATO? Oh, as you go through, there's some really cool challenges that they bring at you. And I really liked some of them. Like, sometimes they give you, like, the Arnold Schwarzenegger bow with the grenade on the arrow.
That's the Stallone bow.
That's what I said. The Stallone bow, where they give the grenade on the arrow.
That's not what you said.
That's exactly what I said. And the record will reflect it.
It will not. You have been caught.
Those do look like American PT boats, though. They look like Vietnam-era PT boats.
I think you're killing Americans.
I don't know. There's no American uniforms that look like that. Now, the first level they did. That doesn't look like any military vehicle that I've ever seen. Unless it's some kind of weird Russian one.
Did you feel good killing Americans?
Well, seeing as I served in the military, no, of course not. But I don't think that these were Americans.
Are you a traitor for playing this game?
No, I don't think you're a traitor for playing this game.
Are you specifically, a traitor for playing this game?
No!
Can I report you to somebody?
They do kind of look like they have M16s, though, don't they?
If I reported you, is there a chance that something bad would happen to you?
I don't like you. You're not a good person.
I'm just asking for a friend.
For a friend? Oh, what a terrible, terrible friend that friend would be.
Is the only gun you get this MAC-10?
Yeah, this MAC-10. You are just absolutely taking out planes, bombs, tanks with a MAC-10. What are they shooting out of this thing? Like uranium bullets?
I do notice that you seem to be able to take out a helicopter with like 3 bullets from your MAC-10.
Everything in this game is very weak. Like, maybe there was some kind of difficulty slider that I missed, but they send enough enemies at you that it's still challenging even though stuff dies quickly.
So the game is $19.99. Do you think that it is worth $19.99?
I would say $20, that's a pretty fair price to pay. There is a lot of interesting stuff in this game. I had a really good time playing with all the different weapons they kept giving me. Like, mainly you only got the weapons in the quick time events, but I didn't really mind having the MAC-10. It was just kind of there, It didn't change anything for me. I just wish I had the other weapons more often and more quick time events, but there were enough quick time events in each level that I didn't feel like, man, where's the next one? In fact, at some points I was like, that's kind of a few too many QuickTime events.
I don't think they're called QuickTime events, but I know what you're talking about.
Now, QuickTime's like Push B, but yeah. But it is a fun game. You're going to enjoy it until it becomes somewhat repetitive.
And he does it for a living, folks. So there you go, guys. That's Operation WARCADE, as in arcade, but it starts with war. Ha ha ha. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. But if you did like it, you can watch another video right up there in the corner. And as always,
we'll see you on the next one.